going on, Schmoedown fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. I'm former Star Wars champion Andrew Dimalanta.
And I'm Star Wars competitor Nicki Dimalanta.
Are you mouthing along with it? Doing a TikTok of me?
No.
I saw something out of the corner of my eye. I was like, she
saw that with my eyeballs.
Hey, saw that.
That's how I receive it too. You're not special.
You're not special. So thank you for joining us. And we have another Friday Night Titans to go over. Loving the format of the show.
Loving Titans. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Like it's kind of like when the announcement was first made, I was like, oh my God, once a week. But
yeah, like you want that because we're missing things on like Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's like,
yeah, but also there was plenty of times that we like didn't or couldn't watch it that night. Mm-hmm. So it kind of works out anyway. And it's just like I said before, is if I don't look forward to Fridays enough already, now it's like another reason. And it's just it's everything all at once. It's exciting. It's not piecemealed out. Not that there was a problem with that before, but now it's just like, oh my God, it's just one day packed full of, you're just going to see so much plotline stuff, cutscene stuff, competition. I'm really, really I can't even say how much I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, and you really like the previously on.
I love it. I'm one of those people that I forget
a lot of what happened.
A lot.
Because it's a lot like other shows where it's like, it's not like just what happened last week. It's like, hey, something happened like a couple of weeks ago.
That too.
That leads into this show. And it's like, because everybody forgot about certain things that happened 2 weeks ago. It's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They're still roaming around out there.
It could have happened yesterday and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's right. Like, I think I brought it up before, like when we were watching Game of Thrones and they would be like previously on, I'd be like, don't you dare fast forward through this because I don't remember what happened last time.
I wanted to skip the because it would always give you skip intro. I was like, yes, please. I already know what's going on.
No, because there were some times that the previously on, and then not even just Game of Thrones. I feel like they would do it on what they do it on Mando.
Yeah, they did it on Mando, did it on Boba Fett.
Yeah, and I feel like there was plenty of times where I'm like, wow, I don't remember that at all. I saw that with my eyes. Apparently. So I know I like that kind of thing. And if I remember, then I'll fast forward. But most of the time, nope. I enjoy that recap. And it makes it feel like a show on TV. It makes it feel like I'm watching
an actual
a show on actual TV. And I don't know, it's got a different feel. But I can't express how much I'm enjoying it. I'm loving Titans. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
And also I tweeted about it and I wish I would have done something differently because I was watching it
Kenny Boy.
Yeah, Kenny Boy. I was watching it and I saw somebody in the comments they said, is the pit boss becoming a zaddy? And I was like, that's hilarious. And so I screenshot it, and I blocked out the person's name because, I'm just, I don't know. I feel weird being like, this is, even though it wasn't anything bad, it was funny.
Yeah.
But I wish I would have circled the comment because I don't know, because it's so small and at the bottom of the screenshot that I don't know if people are like, Demi thinks that Ken's a zaddy. It's like, maybe. But this guy said it and I thought that was pretty funny. And tweeted at Ken. I don't even think he liked it. So maybe he's like, I'm confused and scared of what is that.
He's not very active. I remember talking to him about it. He's not very active on Twitter. And now
really.
Yeah, it's just to promote certain things.
I just thought it was funny and I thought he should see it.
I know he said that about Star Wars. He will not talk about Star Wars on Twitter.
I think he mutes a lot of Star Wars stuff. Yeah. But I was like, I thought that was funny and I thought he should see it and have a giggle at it. Should be like, hey Grace, you dating his daddy?
I think he's more active on Instagram than he is on Twitter.
Maybe. Yeah. And I'm less active on Instagram. Yeah. I forget I even have one sometimes. But yeah.
Anyway, so really quick before we get into this past week's Titans, I think we need to do a little bit of housekeeping.
Sure.
A little bit of cleanup. We're going to sort of revisit a topic that we talked about last week with the after shows having guests on of competitors that are from the Schmoedown, and they have to go through a PR firm first. And we had some things, we had our own little concerns about it, and we had our own little thoughts about it. And I think we were just, after that conversation, we kept talking about it. And it's like, we really have a lot of not concerns, but like questions.
Just kind of like, why?
Yeah, a little bit of why this, why that. And then so we decided to reach out to certain people, higher ups, and we had a conversation with Big Daddy Harloff himself.
Big Pop. Oh man, I was gonna say H isn't a very normal, Big Papa H doesn't roll off the tongue.
No, but we did.
Special K.
Yeah, Special K.
Christian himself,
Yeah, we reached out to him because he, so we had a not a lengthy conversation. We had a conversation like, hey, this is what we're our concerns about this, and we really just got down to the root of it. It's like, this is what the PR firm is there for, and it's to protect players. And it's like, oh, because I think I was a little too hasty with it last week, saying like, oh, it's this and this and that, and I was looking at it too much like an after show perspective. Because that's too,
looking at it from too much of a fan perspective.
Exactly, and
it's like, and not like the whole holistic view
like
of the whole
bigger
thing.
picture. Our conversation with him gave us a little bit more like an overview of like this is why we're doing it. It's like
there was an aspect that I was like, that I didn't actually think about that.
It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Because certain times I always think, when we're talking about the Schmoedown, I think of it as a fan. I don't always think of it as Andrew the competitor, Star Wars former champion, Star Wars competitor.
I always think of it as a fan.
Yeah. It's like sometimes when things come out, I always react to it as I'm watching like a fan. And I don't always think of it as a competitor. Sometimes I will most of the time when it affects us most as competitors.
Yeah.
That's when I'll like, oh. But
there are times when that comes into play.
Exactly. So, but like I never thought of it because he gave us this one great point of like sometimes, people are getting bombarded with their DMs. It's like, hey, want to have a show, and it's just like all like getting, and he wants to like sort of consolidate that. So like the competitors don't have to worry about that so much. So now it's somebody else that's handling it for them. So
it's just a lot to keep track of. And it's a lot of like, I just want to make sure that I give everything a fair and equal chance and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I just feel like one aspect of it is keeping things, I don't really like the word regulated. That feels yucky, but I don't know. It organizes things. And I do believe
that's a really good word for it.
I do believe that, especially after the conversation, that it's, like we said, it's to protect all parties. Because if you're looking at it from the perspective of an after show only, a fan only, then you could be like, that's not fair to us, but if you're also thinking about it from like a competitor only perspective, it's kind of like, well, that's kind of inconvenient. I don't know. But like, I feel like if you just kind of try to take a step back and realize that this is in place to protect the players, the after shows themselves, the Schmoedown as a whole, a brand. If you have any organization, whatever company, and you're trying to make it run, there's going to be rules, procedures. Standard operating procedures. I mean, Lord knows I know that with where I work, everything has a standard operating procedure. Like, I'm surprised me like arriving at work and walking into my office doesn't have like a
blood sample. Spit into this cup, please.
Exactly. There's an SOP for everything, you know? So why wouldn't that apply to this? So, after talking to him, it was kind of like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's like, a business
I totally get it.
At the end of the day. And you're right. Businesses do have ways they do things. And that's how you grow, is by having regimented ways to function.
And I think that was another point. I was like, this helps the brand grow and make it a little bit more streamlined and professional too. And we've said it, many, many times on the show. We will always side with the players. This protects players. So
it does. I also, because I know you're saying, oh, maybe I was a little hasty, and I was like thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, sure, maybe a bit. But I think that most of that stems from the fact that whenever a big change happens, it's usually human nature is like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't like this. This isn't what I'm used to. This is what we always have done.
Yeah.
But then when you take a step back, either you take a step back and watch it again or look at it again yourself, or you have conversations. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, okay, I get it. And it's not like before we were like, F this.
Yeah, no.
This is stupid. It was just kind of like, maybe we weren't thinking about it from the right angles.
Yeah.
And thinking about it from a whole,
like a whole umbrella type situation. Because I can totally sympathize with the people that are having trouble, not trouble, but frustrations with this process.
Sure.
It's new. It's very new.
There's always going to be kinks to work out with a new process.
It's like, just let the process work out. I'm sure they'll find ways to like, well, it doesn't really work this way for us. And this conversation will be had, things will be adjusted, and maybe a couple weeks down the road, a month down the road, or whatever. It's going to take some time. I understand it's frustrating, but it's new. It's new. It's to help the brand grow, to help keep things in check and protect certain parties and things like that. So after that conversation that we had with him, it's like, oh, okay.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I have a broader understanding of it now, and more. I have a deeper understanding for it now. It's like I always got why they did it in the first place.
Yeah,
it's like, but now I have a greater understanding as to why it's there and why the procedures are there, and it's always adjusting. They'll always find ways to make it not easier,
always
but
be course corrections should they be needed. There's always going to be stuff like that.
Yeah, so
that's part of any business. or anything really.
In life. Yeah, anything that's new, it'll take time.
Adjustments.
So yeah.
On the topic of last week, also when we were talking about Star Wars matches, so I think that something that I also want to clarify is that when I was watching that press conference, and I went back and I watched it again just to make sure that I wasn't like, am I losing my mind here? Which is absolutely feasible. Probably still kind of true. But like, I went back and I feel like, I came out of that like, oh my gosh, 2-3 matches total or 3 or 4 matches total.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And I just couldn't believe it. But I think that,
concerning the Star Wars division.
Concerning the Star Wars division.
Yeah.
What I'm gathering at this point now is that, what was said in that press conference was, it's whatever, it's there. But like, I believe that it's not just 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 only.
Yeah.
Because that would be kind of crazy. I think what we're getting at is 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 in addition to
what they already have planned.
However many title shots may come about this season. So it's not like, oh my God, only 2 or 3. Oh my God, because that's what I was thinking. And I was like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's just kind of crazy to think about with the success it's been having.
Yeah.
So no, it's to my understanding, to my knowledge, it is not only 2 or 3 all year, because that would be crazy. That would mean that like 3 or 4 people would compete and that's it.
Yeah.
Out of all these people
there are plans, just again, it's forever changing. Always in motion is its future. So
what's that from Star Trek? But it's those matches that were discussed at the press conference, in addition to whatever title shots are on the horizon for us all. So, no need to panic. Star Wars division is still a thing.
Yeah.
And it's still going to function, and we're still going to see the people we want to see, hopefully. So that was that too. I didn't want anyone to be like, well, Beyond the Schmoedown said there was only 2 or 3 matches.
Oh my God.
At all, ever. So no, that's not the case. Like you said, everything can change at any given point in time. But I think that what is in the works at the moment is 2 or 3 or 4, whatever, in addition to title shots, all subject to change, of course, with, it's a business. And I think that that's a thing that a lot of us lose sight of because we're not the ones making decisions. We're not the ones running the business. We're not thinking about logistical type stuff.
Cost, yeah.
That sounded not a word, but I know it is. But like logistical type stuff like funding, budgeting, kind of important.
Yeah.
Because if you want people to be involved, you're going to, have to maybe pay them. So yeah, it's a constraint that they got to work with.
Yeah, because everybody's like, just make it digital. It's like, well, you got to pay for the talent. You got to pay for the editors. You got to pay for the people running the stream. You got to pay for
the announcers, the after show
managers,
people, the people that do the interviews.
Yeah, so it's like it's a whole army involved in just like it's not just us sitting down with Christian and Mark. Like, hey, answer this question. It's like no, there's a whole process. Like,
and there's a whole team behind the scenes that you never see.
Exactly. Like, people only see what they see. They'll only ever see the final product. They don't see what happens leading up to that. Like I said on record, the match between me and Thomas Harper. There was a couple of hiccups.
A lot of stuff nobody will ever see.
Yeah, a lot of stuff nobody sees. There's a couple of hiccups that it took twice as long to tape that match because of the hiccups that happened. So, I understand that it costs money to put on a show. So it's not as simple. Yeah, it's not as simple as, hey, do this. It's like, well, I always say this with people that are in the creative industry. If you're a videographer, photographer, or something like that, or independent contractors like I am, it's like every client would always like, hey, can you just do this? Like, all right.
Can you just do the Photoshop button?
Yeah, it's like that thing you just wanted me to do is going to take 10 hours of work on top of what I already did.
Right.
So it's like, it's not as simple as snapping your fingers and Thanos snapping your problems away. So things cost time and things cost money.
But yeah, I think that's something that a lot of us do. A lot of us that aren't.
Knee-jerk reaction.
That aren't part of those who run the whole operation. It's so easy for all of us to sit back here on our couches and be like, just do this.
Yeah.
I can't believe Christian doesn't just do that. Like,
just fly them out. It's like,
just fly them out. Just do digital. Just do this. It's
like, do you realize how much that costs?
Admittedly, it is very simple to sit back and say that, but it's not always that simple to solve that problem. Yeah. So that is something that I do think it would behoove us to keep in the back of our minds, that there's I'm sure that all these things that people suggest constantly, I'm sure Christian and the team are like, yeah, we'd love to friggin' do that.
But we can't.
But we can't because of A, B, C, all the way through X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
There's tons of reasons that we're not even aware of and don't have to consider. Thank goodness. I'm glad I don't have to make those choices. And I'm glad I don't have to hear all the constant chatter about it. But, you know, there's all sorts of things that it is good to remind ourselves that while it's good to put your ideas out there, I think that there's value in stating your opinion as long as you do it in a respectful way, as long as you're not attacking. I do think there is value in people being like, hey, what about this? Hey, I just thought of that. Because maybe it's a thing that not just the Schmoedown, but anything in general. Yeah. If somebody else from the outside says something and somebody else on the inside goes, well, wait a minute, I never thought of that. Yeah. There could potentially be value in that. So I would never want people to be like, well, they can't do it probably because so I shouldn't even friggin' say anything. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. Yeah. I just think that we need, you know, think about what you say before you say it, and we could all learn to, you know, live by those words. But good thing to keep in mind. Yeah. It's not always so easy as do this. Yeah. But still keep those ideas flowing because you never know what might be like, oh shoot, yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks. Oh no, I almost just said somebody's real screen name. I shouldn't have said that. I don't know. Thanks, Schmoedown fan 1234669. But yeah, just a couple of things that we were like, oh, we should probably just retouch on that. Yeah. Why not? But anyways, there's a ton of stuff that happens. Yes, there is. Titans. And I have a feeling that's the way it's going to be all year. And it's very exciting to have so much to talk about every Friday. Yeah. So let's
you keep pushing on the desk. I'm like, oh my God.
Am I? I'm sorry. This desk is kind of wobbly. Wonder why. I wonder if somebody absolutely manhandled this desk one time and now it's kind of wobbly.
Sorry, Jessica. Well, she's on new stands.
She's not actually wobbly. She's just on risers.
She's on new risers.
Actual risers, not like tuna cans or something. You know what I mean? Real risers. Okay. I don't know if Allison listens to this show, but if she does,
I think she does.
I'll give her a little winky wink for Allison? That reference. We had a cut scene.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, no, wait. I just need to. Okay, no, wait. I just have to explain the tuna can thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Allison's one of our friends. She's also involved in the after show community. She's involved with Flick and Reel and all that kind of stuff. But she told me one time she was organizing a baby shower. Try to make it quick. She was organizing a baby shower for somebody in her family. I don't know. And they were doing a baby shower game where they were guessing the prices of baby products. And she texted me one night. She's like, how much do you think a snoo costs? And I'm like, what the hell's a snoo? And I'm like, wow, am I a bad parent? Because I don't know what that is. And then she explained it to me. I looked it up and I was like, no wonder I don't know what a snoo is. It's like a really fancy baby bassinet. It's a glorified standalone bed. I mean, all beds are standalone. It's kind of weird, but like it's a bassinet, like $1,600, which if you have that kind of money to throw at a bed for a baby that's going to grow out of it in 6 months, more power to you.
3 months.
Please go ahead. Knock yourself out.
You can use that for 3 months.
I'm pretty frugal myself. Yeah. No way in hell am I spending that much money on a bassinet. But if you want to, knock yourself out.
First 3 months, our daughter slept in her pack and play.
Oh, well.
It was a perfect size. Then we moved it to her crib.
She's doing just fine, I assure you. Yeah. But no, the thing that she told me was that people spend $1,600 in this snoo. Good for you. But I guess, I don't know if they want to make it higher. So they instead of putting it on risers like we have right here, they put them on, some people prop them up on tuna cans. I'm like, bitch, you just spent $1,600 on a snoo and you can't spring for some actual risers? Excuse me? You're going to prop your kid up on fish? That's kind of weird. But you know what? I don't want to bring it up because too much because it just gets my blood boiling.
To be fair, sometimes those big items, you don't pay for them as parents. You get gifted those items. Like
this came out of somebody's pocket.
Yeah.
I could spend $1,600 in a way more effective way. Like real risers.
Your kid's entire, nursery.
Yeah, you could do a lot with that.
Anyways, you could do a lot with $1,600.
Sorry to get so off course. That's what the tuna can.
It's the name of the game, baby.
Oh man, she told me about that.
We go beyond the Schmoedown.
She told me about that. I'm like, I'm legitimately mad. I'm angry right now. Like, why would people do this? All right, listen. Back to the cutscene. Okay, Christian and Gucci. Christian walks up to Mr. Bobby Gucci himself, and he says, "Why don't you just thank me for everything I've done for you?" kind of thing, and everything you've given him, you know. And then Christian gives him the tasty news that he has a match for him. I don't think at that point they said what the match was, right? Yeah. He was just like, I got a match for you, you know? And they kind of left it at that. Mysterioso, you know?
Or did they mention it was Barbarians?
Like match? I said, I don't remember anything. I wish we had a previously on our show because I don't remember if they said what the match was. I don't think they did.
Yeah. I think at the very least, it's like, oh, you have a match. And then he whispers in his ear.
He's like, oh, word.
Oh,
nice.
Word?
And then we get another cutscene. We get Coy and Flirt and Flaus.
I love this cutscene so much.
Flaus slaps Coy right in the face, right in the kisser.
It's like a glove.
Right.
He had a glove in his hand.
Like a gentleman. Slaps him in the face with a glove, calls him Mr. Yandrew.
Mr. Shanju.
And then he challenges him to a teams match. And I think Flaus was going for a Shazam match.
Like, challenge Shazam.
And Coy was like, yeah, dude, let's do it. But it's not going to be Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta work your way up to Shazam. You don't just get to call them out.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be against my bros back here, Liz, Shannon, and Miller, who I guess now officially
a Merc.
A Merc. Lightning Lish and a Miller, and Brandon. I almost said Brendan. Brandon the Hornet Hannah.
Yeah, that doesn't make it any easier that Brendan and Brandon are both on my faction now.
I always want to call them the wrong name.
We always like get our wire trust.
It's bound to happen at some point. But anyways, yeah, Coy accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And nice segue. It's almost like they did it on purpose. Now we have a teams match. And we got Flaus managing the ruling class.
Ooh.
A new team comprised of the Tyrant Ty Lieberman and Whitney the Beauty Cybold going up against Plot Twist. Not sure where that name came from.
I like it though.
Why not? It feels right.
Mm-hmm.
Of the Mercs. And that is, like we said, Lightning Lish, Shannon Miller. I typed Liz and Shannon.
Oops.
That ain't right. Liz and Brandon the Hornet Hannah.
Who came out in his mask and hat.
Clearly he listened to the show.
Clearly he listened to the show.
And took your advice. Clearly that's what happened. So thanks for the listen.
I could have just DM'd him in our team thing, but I was like, I don't want to push my
I'm
luck.
100% sure that that's why he did it. Because we said it on the show. So thanks for the viewership, bro. Round 1, he's not watching. Liz and Brandon both missed a question about Inside Out.
Oh,
good movie, though.
Fantastic movie. You've seen it, right?
Yeah. Shocking. I know.
Such a good movie.
9 out of 10 movies. It's like, I've never even heard of that. Me. Why am I like this? Brandon missed a question, something about Matt Damon. And then also something about the producers. Ruling class, however, they both got a perfect round. And then Whitney got the bonus question. So with that, at the end of round 1, 16-21 in favor of the ruling class. Holy smokes.
Wowie.
Round 2. Ruling class goes first. They spin away from Ice Cube. They get scores and soundtracks.
Seems like it'd be down their alley.
As soon as they spun it, I was like, this feels like something they would enjoy. Mm-hmm. You know, you got your wine glass. I don't know. They did have a 2-point miss that did get stolen.
Ooh. And
they went to multiple choice twice, but got those both.
Mm-hmm.
Plot twist goes, they spin Wizarding World. And we're all like, oh, well, Brandon's an IG player.
IG player.
You know, go ahead and take it probably, right? I don't know if Wizarding World is one of his you know.
I think it's I don't know what the conversation was like, but I imagine he's like, okay, it's probably not a clear strength of his, but like we had this conversation. It's like, it's the team's division. It's not in the IG. So you're not getting IG level Harry Potter and Wizarding World questions. So it's like, okay.
One could only imagine.
Yeah. So this is a gettable category.
Right.
So go ahead and roll with it. So I think that's only imagine what the conversation was like.
Yeah, I imagine. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I haven't seen a single Harry Potter movie, so I don't know if those were hard questions or not hard questions. I don't know, but it's kind of like I feel like it's okay to say that there's probably a bit of a difference between Star Wars questions in the Star Wars division and Star Wars in the IG division,
and in the singles division. For that matter.
I think that's a fair assertion to make.
Yeah.
So I feel like the same might translate. You're kind of rolling the dice. You don't know.
Yeah, you never know. There was that one. We'll get to it. There was that one wonky question that they had to repeat on.
Well, you're gonna have to take the lead on that. I don't have a note on that. Yikes to me. But yeah, that's what we figured. Like that's when they said, "Oh yeah, we'll take Wizarding World." We're like, "Oh, maybe they're banking on it's gonna be like
get more gettable questions,
more gettable type questions, not your like specialty level." You know. It seemed to have worked because they got a perfect round 2.
Yeah,
crushed it.
Yeah, because there's one where they said how many. I can't remember the actress of like how many times has this actress portrayed this character in the Harry Potter franchise,
something like that.
And they had to repeat it, and then it's like, all right, good use to repeat because they got it. It was like 3, I think. Yeah. So yeah, it turned out really well for them.
It sure did. Yeah. I think in the interview after the match that Brandon was like, yeah, Liz actually helped me with some of those questions.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay. And Jen said what we were all thinking. You want to do IG now? And Liz was kind of like, that's one movie out of like 100 zillion that's considered for IG.
Yeah.
It seems fun when you just crushed round 2.
Yeah.
But then you think about the rest of it. And
but then you also got to think, well, the questions will be harder. So
yeah, that's like when people are like, hey, Angie, you want to do IG? And you're like, sure, it has Star Wars. But it also has all this other garbage I've never watched.
I mean, it has some categories that I'm really like, I think I will do well in.
And it's like, hey, man, do you like Howard the Duck a lot?
It's like, not really.
Never even seen it.
Because like
barely heard of it before the Schmoedown.
Yeah, because I'd go in there like, oh yeah, Star Wars, MCU, DC, I can do pretty well in those. And then it's like Wizarding World and Lord of the Rings I could be decent at, but like there's a whole these other ones I'm like
graphic novel-y type stuff.
Graphic novel, what the newer one, the swashbuckling. I could be decent at that, but not really.
Pirates.
Yeah, like Pirates,
Caribbean,
Zorro, Indiana Jones. Yeah, there's so many, like as many categories I think I will do well in. There's like twice as many categories I just want to steer away from.
Hard no.
Yeah.
Hard pass. At the end of round 2, 27 and 28 in favor of plot twist now.
Ooh, that's steel, man.
Round 3, 2-pointer. Okay, so listen, I abbreviated ruling class RC and plot twist as PT. Let's see how well I do, because I see PT and I either think patient or part-time.
Oh.
RC, cola. Aren't we all thinking it?
Probably.
Anyways, we'll see how well I fare. 2-pointer for ruling class. Gene Hackman. Whitney takes it. In which Will Smith action thriller from director Tony Scott does Hackman appear as Edward Brill Lyle, a former NSA communications expert? Enemy of the State. Got it. 2-pointer for plot twist. Amblin. Seems like a new category. Brandon takes it. Peter Banning, a workaholic father who has lost sight of his past and who he really is the lead character of what Steven Spielberg film? Hook.
Yeah.
Emilio.
That's that movie, right? Rufio.
Really? Oh. What's Emilio from? Mighty Ducks.
No, it's from Night of the Roxbury.
Oh.
So
Emilio Estevez is in Mighty Ducks.
He's in Mighty Ducks, but
I wasn't too far
But that quote is from Night of the Roxbury.
Oh.
Guy turns around, tips his cap like this.
I can't confirm if I've seen that movie.
Who do you think that guy was?
Emilio Estevez?
Emilio Estevez, the Mighty Ducks man. I swear to God.
I wasn't too far.
I was like, Emilio!
Wow. Would I like that movie?
I think he would. It's an SNL film.
Probably.
Chris Kattan, Will Ferrell.
I
think it's right up your alley.
Be a nice casual Friday night.
It's a 90s SNL film. What's not to like?
Well, if we ever do the thing that I want to do where I have a 90s and early 2000s themed party, maybe we'll just have movies on in the background.
It's a good movie. I
make
really
a power hour of 90s and early 2000s movies. Oh, man, if I still had my stupid Mac laptop
I
with
told you,
iMovie.
I told you a million times I can get you an editing software that's free that you can use.
That's lowbrow enough for me.
Yes.
iMovie?
It's no.
Like iMovie? It's, not that I'm trashing iMovie, but that was simple enough for me.
It's a little bit more complicated than iMovie, but there's tons of tutorials online. All you want to do is simple cuts. It does the job. Hit film if you're looking to get into filmmaking.
Well, sounds like that's a thing for another time.
Film Express, hitfilm.com.
It's a good
or .io. I can't remember.
A good suggestion for another time because I got other things I'm working on right now.
Very powerful free software. You can do a whole bunch of visual effects in it for free. I've used it once and it's like it's not my speed because I'm used to Premiere, but for somebody that's getting into it, Hitfilm Express.
I got other things I'm using all my free time to do right now. I got
DaVinci is also free.
I got stuff I need to do. He's not even listening to me.
Sorry.
All right, next effing question. 3-pointer for
get Nerd Karnak on here. We'll talk
plot
editing
twist.
all for hours.
Plot twist. Westerns. Liz, who plays the title character, a homicidal singing cowboy in the Ballad of Buster Scruggs? Tim Blake Nelson. She got it. 3-pointer for ruling class. Matt and Ben.
Matt Damon.
Ty takes it. Matt Damon. Which 2007 crime thriller starring Casey Affleck, Ed Harris, shout out to PLD, and Michelle Monaghan marked Ben Affleck's directorial debut? Gone, Baby Gone. Got it. Put me on the desk. 5-pointer for...
You'll confuse the hell out of competitors. Like, what?
I'll call Star Wars matches. That I could handle that. No, I mean, I could do any match, but I'd be real effective in a Star Wars match. But also, call me up, especially for digital stuff. 5-pointer for, almost said part-time, plot twist. Tom Cruise. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're at the fivers. Mm-hmm. Which Oscar winner plays the representative to the Life Extension Company in the film Vanilla Sky? Tilda Swinton.
Ooh.
Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't remember her name in that movie.
I can't remember.
You know what's crazy is I told you there's no way I'm turning the fan on tonight because I was a little chilly when we started, but now I'm like, ooh.
Because we're moving. It's getting heated in here. You can turn the fan on?
It's getting crazy.
Let's see if she remembers which one it is.
Oh, it's the one farthest from me. No, it's already pushed.
It's the one closest to you. Maybe I should label them.
I would have bet a lot of money that it was the one farther away.
McClunky.
GD it. You know what I'm saying? Gosh. One day. It's just like, will I ever know which Batman film had the circus performers in it? Batman Forever.
Yes.
Nice.
He's getting there.
Batman Returns. Nice to meet you.
No, Batman and Robin. Batman Returns is still Michael Keaton with Catwoman and the Penguin.
Wow. Well, we're getting there. I got one of them. 5-pointer for Ruling Class. Black cinema. George Tillman Jr. directed what 1997 dramedy featuring Vivica A. Fox and Nia Long, which is told through the eyes of 11-year-old Ahmad. Soul food. They got it. So with that, 36-37 in favor of the Ruling Class.
This is a good match.
It is.
These two teams are very sneaky good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like because I don't know. Did Brandon play a teams match last year? I feel like he did. Because he did well. He did well. Like, yeah, sure, he missed a couple in the second.
Who doesn't from time to time?
First, he missed a couple in the first.
Everybody has at some point.
But he did very well. I was very surprised about how well he did.
Yes, and I know that you enjoyed his character work.
Yes, there was that one when they were talking about Harry Potter and who was it? Cyborg? It's like, oh, Star Wars, and then Brandon's like,
I'm thinking about it now, Liz.
He's rubbing the table.
That I thought was pretty funny.
I think that was something that really stood out to me about Brandon in this match is like the character work is just like, oh, he's fitting right in with the Mercs.
It was weird because you're used to seeing like
straight-laced
want to kind of slap him in the face, Brandon Hanna.
Yeah.
You're used to seeing that. But then you're seeing like this, that's the coy John Drew effect.
Yeah.
Jean Drew?
Jean Drew.
It's this Jean Drew effect, you know? You just you team up with him and you're just like, hey man.
Take it easy.
Let's be goofy.
Take it
quirky.
Easy. Yeah. What was that one movie with Jack Black when he's a luchador wrestler?
Nacho Libre.
Yes.
Put me in the team's division. Don't.
Take it easy.
I'll get knocked out in round one. Yeah, no. But I know that you really enjoyed.
I really enjoyed Brandon's character work because there was certain times where he turned his board around. It's like, you think I didn't get it, but I did. And he had some other comments. I was like, that was good.
There were some times I was like, wow, you're talking a lot. But it worked.
It worked.
Like it was like, okay, this is the Brandon we get now, and it was fun. It was really fun to see.
We got glimpses of that last season, and now we get to see it in full force and in a studio setting. It's like, yes, because like he was killing me with like, I'm thinking about it, Liz.
That was legitimately funny. But I just love when you see a completely different side to a person / character that you've never seen before. Mm-hmm. Like I said with JTE, you know, you're used to seeing like kind of, I don't know. I'm just here to answer trivia questions, JTE.
Yeah, like smack talk and JTE.
Sure.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing like a little bit of a sillier, goofier side. Mm-hmm. So on that same line of logic, it's fun to see, you know, you're used to seeing Brandon like with his, you know, he likes to put the like VHS 90s effect on his videos when he's like, my name is Brandon Hanna and I'm a bad guy. Now you're used to seeing that. And now we're seeing him as like, I'm goofy, I wear a mask and I say funny things.
And we've said it before, something like that can probably change your gameplay, loosen you up, relax you.
Might be what you need.
Yeah.
And yes, they came up short, but it was 1 point.
Yeah.
You didn't get blown out of the water.
That steal was crucial, though, too.
Exactly.
So
they flipped the script, gave us a little bit of a plot twist on round 2 when they came out in the lead. But everybody's going to miss something at some point. Mm-hmm. And this was his first match with Liz. Mm-hmm. Potentially his first teams match. I don't remember if he's played a teams match before.
He did play a teams match last season.
But in any case, his specialty is IG. Mm-hmm. He did very well in a teams match. I think I would absolutely flail and crash and burn if you put me in the teams match.
If you put me in teams match,
or singles, or IG.
You could put me with Dan Merle and we'd still get knocked out.
Yeah. I would apologize to him before the match. Like, you ever been knocked out in round 1? Because it's about to happen.
It's about to happen.
And I think that Ruling Class is about to be a sneaky team.
They're going to be a force.
Because Cybold?
That second round was rough.
Sure.
But like out the gate, this team is like,
First match together?
Yeah.
I mean, they still pulled it out. Sure, they had a round 2 that they probably didn't go the way they wanted it to go, but they still pulled it out. You know? And that happens from time to time, and you're going to learn lessons like we always like to talk about. But, I mean, Seibold used to be paired with Bibiani.
Yeah, he's never been.
You cannot be a schlub when you're paired up with Bibiani.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be able to know your stuff and pull your weight, which he did and is going to be doing
Absolutely. Yeah, because there's a handful of competitors out there that you would say, like, they're not bad players, just don't get the rolls sometimes. And they don't get the spins, or, like, it just doesn't break their waist for whatever reason. Jeannine was in that category. Brendan Meyer's been in that category for singles. Paul Preston last season was like, God, just didn't go his way that way.
Yeah.
Seibold has been kind of like that way. It's not like he was hot and cold. It's just like, didn't get the breaks.
And he's incredibly knowledgeable.
Oh, yeah.
So, and you put him up with Ty, who had I would like to go ahead and say he had a great rookie season last year. Not only is he knowledgeable in trivia, he's got a very fun character.
Very fantastic. I love the persona.
Exactly. And then you put these two people who are just kind of like, I don't even know how to like sum up their characters, but they're both just kind of sassy, but in like an edgy, leaning towards a Healy kind of way. And putting them together and then putting Flaus with them is kind of like, okay, yes, sign me up. So I'm excited to see what they can do with their, knowledge base combined. I think that they could be a really sneaky good team and really be a force to be reckoned with once they really get their feet wet with each other.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where they go, especially now they got a win under their belt. So it's very excited to watch where ruling class ends up and where they, who they play next.
Yeah.
So excited.
I would say watch out for them because, like, sure, that second round's kind of like a little rough, but like that first round was just like,
it's happened to everybody at some point. You can't really base somebody's entire career off of one match.
Yeah.
Sure, they've had other matches separately, but this is only their first match together. And you can't judge somebody's entire, future based on one match,
Yeah.
I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that their first match was kind of like, ugh, not the best performance, but they went on to do great things. So, and they still won.
Yeah.
And then even though, plot twist, even though they came up a little bit short, I'm excited to see what happens when they get a little bit more studying in together, gel a little bit more with each other. I think.
And if they don't get any matches soon, you can still feel they have their respective divisions that they compete in that they can go focus on.
You got yourself a singles player and an IG player.
Yeah. So
they just happen to be.
It's not like
flexing
we'll
with each
definitely
other.
be seeing more of them. Whether that's as a team, you get to be seen.
Yeah.
But the way that this season is formatted, we can just like see them pop into another match. So
exactly.
It's gonna be fun.
After that match, we got a little bit of a cut scene, and we got a random Alex Marzonia sighting, and he's talking to Jeannine and like, "Hey, you're gonna do great things. Get out there, go get him."
Follow Alex on TikTok too. He's got a lot of good stuff.
Cool guy.
He doesn't post as often. Brandon too. God, Brandon's way too smart for TikTok. Like he's posted like 2 videos so far.
He's like an engineer or whatever.
Yeah, like you would enjoy the one because he the first one I saw of his is like Home Alone 2 when
Lost
Harry
in New York. It's a grid system.
when Harry would climb up the rope with the sandbag when the sandbag falls on him. He like broke like the friction rate and like.
If you're telling me that he's trying to discredit Home Alone 2.
No. He like put math into like I can't remember the video. Go check it out. But like
inertia,
something like that. Like the weight of the bag wouldn't have held them or something like that. I can't remember what it did, but like it was like I commented like, "You're way too smart for this app. Get off this app." But yeah, he has some good stuff. But Marzonia has stuff. He posts a lot of his music on it too. I'm like, oh, it's really good. So go give him a follow. It's nice.
People like Brandon and Chandru, like, bro, you're really smart.
What are you doing on a trivia show?
Like, my God, dude, you're like
you're throwing numbers at me. I'm just gonna take it as disrespect.
Like a literal rocket scientist out here. Anyways, so yeah, Alex Marzonia, follow him and whatever. He's like, "Hey, Jeannine, you could do great, And then he leaves, and then Jeannine's kind of like, "Man, what do? I don't have a faction. I don't have a teammate. I got double crossed. I feel like I don't have anybody in my corner." And then the next thing you know. Yeah, you do. And then you get Kaiser and you get Kevin Smets coming out. They're just lurking in the corner. For sure, she didn't see them standing there. They came out. They're like, "You got a home now, baby girl."
It's TV vision. If it's not on the screen, you can't see it.
That's the magic of TV, baby. That's showbiz, baby. But they walk out. She's like, you got a home now, baby girl. So Jeannine is officially on the dungeon.
Ooh.
Very exciting.
Somebody else is on the dungeon in this.
I think I am. I'm just I'm a loser and I don't live in LA, so I don't get to hang out with them. So I'll have to call them on Zoom and stuff, you know. Man, you know, there were times where I'm like, man, it would be cool to live in LA. And then I'm like,
then we look at our mortgage. It's like, that's why.
Yes,
that's why.
I get it now. Okay.
That's why.
But also I wish I could hang out with people more, you know? That'd be cool too. But at least we got Zoom, you know? We'll always have that, I guess.
Zoom makes the world smaller, so.
Cute. And also, it's like the most radical form of social distancing. But also you get to hang. Yeah. So, okay. Jeannine's in the dungeon now. Mm-hmm. And she is the overcard. She's going up against, and she's representing the dungeon now, officially.
Hell
going up against Mr. Erwin.
Yes.
A new persona.
New persona turning heel. We are going to say big time or Ethan at some point.
I'm really going to try not to.
We're going to try to catch ourselves.
He's Mr. Erwin now, and he's representing the stars. So, getting into this.
Ooh. A rivalry is a brewing.
Question 1, Mr. Erwin missed a question about The Conjuring.
Wow. Out of the gate.
Right out the gate. They both missed a question about New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. Is that one of those ensemble casts where like everybody and their mother's in it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper wasn't in it, apparently.
Word. Jeannine missed a question about Hannibal Rising in 6 Days, 7 Nights. Mm-hmm. By the end of round 1, it's 7-8 in favor of, can we just say Erwin? Mr. Erwin. Yeah. I feel like we should. Yeah. Round 2. Jeannine goes first. She spins away from modern classics, gets courtroom and legal dramas.
Ugh.
Yuck. She goes to multiple choice 1 time, misses it. It got stolen. 2-point miss. Almost got stolen.
Forgot the S.
But by 1 letter, didn't get stolen. Mm-hmm. She said Blackwater. Mm-hmm. Mr. Erwin said Darkwater.
It's Darkwaters.
And Mr. Ellis was astute enough to say no.
Yeah, because Andrew Guy's like, oh my God, that's a huge 2-point or 4-point swing. Oh my God.
Like, not so easy there.
Not
buddy.
So fast, my friend.
Not so fast. It's dark waters, more than one water.
Yeah.
So no steal. Yeah. And then she went to multiple choice again, but got that one.
Yeah. And before we move on, like I can hear people like, oh, come on, close. Like this isn't the closest enough league. It's like, yeah, because there is. I'm assuming I don't know if the rule book is available to everybody, but I think they cracked down on this. Benefited, we did. They made it available. The benefit of the doubt is radically different now. So benefit of the doubt does not apply here, and titles they really crack down on. If like you're excluding articles, if you're a letter off, you almost have to get it exactly correct. It was not exactly correct.
I mean,
so
that just allows when it works against you, it sucks, and it's like, come on,
man, you know
why do we got to be like that? But when you're on the other end of it, it's like, yeah, you should have gotten the exact title. It depends on how you're looking at it. But it also just eliminates gray space. Mm-hmm. Because when there's too much gray, that's when people can be like challenging every which way. Exactly. It makes it hard. And this makes it easier, I think, on the announcers and the line judge.
Yeah, and I think
black and white.
Yeah, I think had they decided to challenge that, they probably wouldn't have got it anyways.
Probably not. With the way that Mark presented it, like, sorry, this is season 9.
Season 9. The rules say you have to get it almost to the T.
But there was no resistance.
Articles.
No resistance. And I'm assuming that's because, Roxy's, I'm sure, very well versed in the rule book. So I'm sure she was like, nah, I probably wouldn't get this. Let's save it in case we need it. Mr. Erwin goes. He spins Sam Jackson, decides to stick with it.
No, I can't stop yelling.
Because that's how I talk.
You never seen my movies?
He must have seen his movies. Yeah. Because he got a perfect round 2. That was like an Ellis joke.
Yeah. Wow. Just blazed through it.
Perfect round 2. Knocked it out of the park. My God. So by the end of round 2, 12-18. Oof. Is that right? In favor of Mr. Erwin.
Pretty sure.
Round 3, 2-pointer. Jeannine. Okay, so this is a great example of trying to avoid a TKO.
Yes.
Very much.
Yeah, because we talk about it all the time. It's like, oh, you're 2 points down. They answered their 2. It's like, avoiding the TKO. It's like,
we weren't really that close to one.
Come on.
It could happen.
It could happen, but like, I think, stop saying that unless they have to answer 2 questions.
You know what? You got to fill airtime sometimes. You gotta make sure you don't have too much
they're better than that, though. They're better than that. Come on, guys.
It is like a funny thing that a joke that we have with each other. Like,
dude,
We're 1 point down and we avoided the TKO. Anyways, this is a great example.
Yes.
She's going to have to answer all three just to make
just
Mr. Erwin.
Yes, see? You did it.
That was real close. Just to make him move at all.
Yeah.
2-pointer for Jeannine, sequels and prequels.
Wait, no, she had to answer it. She was allowed to miss her 3.
Oh, word? True. Yeah. True.
She had to get her 5 and one other one.
Math everywhere. Oswald Cobblepot, who plays the role of Oswald Cobblepot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got it right. The penguin. Oswald Cobblepot.
Okay, wait. Make this make sense for me.
Okay.
Oswald Cobble.
Pot.
But why do I have Oswald Cobble, who plays the role of Oswald Cobblepot?
Oh, who plays? It probably like doubled.
Okay.
Doubled you.
Because I was gonna say, what? That's a very terrible alias, like superhero name. If it's just like, let me just add pot to the end of my name. Like, okay, so this must just be my autocorrect just got me again.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row. Bad start for me. Yeah. If I just take out that first name, then it makes more sense. Who plays the role of Oswald Cobblepot, known as the Penguin in Batman Returns? Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think of...
What, that meme?
Mantis Toboggan. Drop my magnum. Danny DeVito. She got it. 3-pointer for Jeannine. Mm-hmm. Brad Pitt and George Clooney. Do they make a lot of movies together or something?
Brad Pitt and George Clooney?
Yeah. Whatever there's these like people like this guy and this guy. Mm-hmm. I'm always like, are they bros? Like I get Ben Affleck and
they've made a decent amount of films
Matt
together.
Damon, the other one.
Oh, but no, they're bros. You know that. I know that.
Brad Pitt and George Clooney. I don't know. They make a lot of movies together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, the
Oceans?
The Oceans films. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't know. This is why I don't play anything but Star Wars. Brad Pitt and George Clooney. Who directed Brad Pitt in the film World War Z?
Had nothing to do with George Clooney, but whatever.
Missed. It was Mark Forster or something like that.
She refused. She did hold on to her JTE.
Smart play.
Which was a smart play.
Because if you hear a question, you're pretty much most of the time going to be like, either I know this or there's no way I'm this is not in my brain at all. Mm-hmm. I would say 9 out of 10 times, 99% of the time, you're either going to know like, oh, should I know this? Or no, there's no way I'm going to pull this. I definitely just don't know this. So I'm guessing she thought this is something I don't know. Why burn a JTE when I know it's not in my head?
Yeah, I'm saving it for the 5-pointer.
Smart move, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a good strategic move.
5-pointer. Strategical. Strategery. 5-pointer for Jeannine. Martial arts.
Gotcha again?
Again. What is that?
Wow.
What is that name?
She got me.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, somebody named Mark and then another guy named Scott Wolf. The last name for Mark, I don't even know what that was supposed to say. It's spelled Decasquez. That can't not be right.
Oh.
Mark somebody and Scott Wolf star as brothers Jimmy and Billy Lee in what martial arts film based on a video game? Double Dragon. It's a movie.
It is a terrible movie, but it's still a movie.
But
love the video game.
She got it. Yeah. Double Dragon. That was a good game. It was a fun game.
It was a fantastic game.
I mean,
old school Nintendo.
Yeah, kind of. It's
yeah.
Well, no, because Street Fighter is more like a Mortal Kombat type game, right?
Yeah, it's a fighting game.
And then Double Dragon is like I'm going on an adventure. Type.
Yeah, an adventure
fighting.
Adventure brawler game.
Yeah, I just want to punch everybody that I run across, kind of thing.
Oh, that was one game that because we always talk about like games that you and your brother played a lot on old school Nintendo.
We played Double Dragon a lot.
Double Dragon was one.
That was one of.
Played. It was great memories.
It wasn't like played it all the time, but it was definitely
we played it all the time.
It's definitely one of the ones that we played, I believe.
Yeah.
So she did get it. Used a great JTE.
Great pull.
To make sure that she was like, because we're avoiding the TKO. So she was really, really wise to use that just to check in with herself and make sure. Mm-hmm. Now we go to Mr. Erwin for his 2-pointer. Musicals. Michelle Pfeiffer plays Stephanie, the leader of a girl gang in what musical sequel? Grease 2. He got it with that. 19-21 in favor of Mr. Erwin, taking home a win to the stars.
Ooh, this is... I mean, it started off real good.
It did.
For Jeannine, but then it's like that. It was that 2-point steal that just like didn't. Was it 2 or was it a 1?
You got me.
1-point steal with the 2-point miss. But
yeah,
no steal.
that's what it was.
That's what it was.
A 1-point
like,
steal.
It was just hard.
Miss.
Yeah, it was just hard when you're going up against something like Ethan Erwin. Like every miss really hurts.
Yeah,
especially if they're steal opportunities.
Every point's gonna count when you're going.
Yeah, you really need it every point.
Did you just say Ethan?
Sorry.
How dare you,
Mr. Erwin?
How very dare you?
Apologies.
My
yeah.
God.
So, but when you're facing someone like of that caliber,
yeah.
every point counts.
Yeah.
Every slip hurts twice as much.
Yeah.
So like. And like we say it all the time, it's not what you miss, it's when you miss. You missed in the second round, which it's just hard to recover sometimes from that.
For sure.
So, but kudos for keeping her head down, and like that 5-point get was like, ooh, there's a lot of people that were like, oh, what? The only reason I knew that because I saw the movie, 2, I played the video game all the time. That's the only reason I knew that answer.
I said Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Because it was the first fighting game that popped into my head.
There's some people that just might guess, I don't know, Street Fighter.
Was there a Street Fighter movie?
Yes. Oh God, another terrible movie.
I mean, video game movies don't really have a good reputation for being.
There's very few video game movies that are decent. So,
Resident Evil.
I mean, that's like a franchise that's like we know exactly what we are, and they just keep making them. So,
Mortal Kombat.
The first one is decent. The second one is
there was one that was released somewhat recently.
That one I haven't seen.
I feel like people were. I feel like it wasn't terrible.
I think people said that it wasn't terrible, but I knew exactly what it was, though.
We watched like 5 minutes of it one day, but yeah, I don't.
I gotta sit down and watch the entire thing.
I don't know.
So,
but yeah, no, they don't really have a great reputation for being. Some video games don't need to be movies.
I still have to watch Uncharted. Is that out on streaming yet?
Don't know.
Sony.
So I feel like I heard mixed reviews on that.
I don't know.
All I'm hoping is. I feel like I wanted a Metal Gear movie, but I'm also kind of like, maybe don't.
It's in the works with Oscar Isaac.
I mean, I'll take Oscar Isaac.
I know you would.
If that's what we gotta. If I have to watch Oscar Isaac in a movie,
you know, we were talking about the Moon Knight posters. Like, it's like really
that poster was like
with the
wow. It's like bro,
with the Mr. Knight. I think that's what it is. I'm not well versed in this character at all.
That poster was like, damn, okay. I guess I'll watch this movie, and I won't be.
It's a show.
It's a show.
It's a show.
Well, I guess I'll watch the show. You can't ask me any questions about it afterward, but I'll watch the show. You know.
There was a plot. What? Just what?
What?
I saw Oscar.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'll watch it with you.
Yeah.
You know,
anyways, back to the match, but
Oh yes! Wow, we really
derailed that one. Jesus.
Wow. Thanks. Street Fighter.
But yeah, again, it's hard to recover when you stumble. Oh, you need every point when you're going up against somebody like Mr. Erwin.
Exactly.
So,
but like you said, you got to give her credit because kind of a rough round 2.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, lesser competitors, would probably crumble and
staring up at a guy that a former 2-time champion. You're like, oh my God, it's over.
Because there are just some times that you can your brain will just kind of just shut off.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, I feel like I should know this, but your brain just will not get there. Mm-hmm. And especially after a round 2 didn't quite go the way she probably would have wanted it to. Mm-hmm. And then she didn't get her 3.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably hear a 5 and just be like, ugh, I don't even.
Yeah. Why even bother type of thing.
So, but that just, that's a true test of somebody's character and, mental fortitude.
Yeah.
When they'll be like, I'm here and they ask me a question, I'm going to answer it, even if I know that this is probably not going to go my way, you know, in the end. So mad respect that she was able to still pull that 5, knowing that she was probably like, damn it, you know?
And I got excited for it. I was like, because like I said, the only reason I knew the answer to the question because once I saw the movie and played the video game all the time, I was like, come on, it's Double Dragon.
Yeah.
It's Double Dragon. Just say it. Like I can see you want to say it. Just say Double Dragon. And then she repeated and she's like, yes, she got it.
But yeah. And then what else is there to say about Mr. Erwin?
Former 2-time champion for a reason.
He's a juggernaut in this league. He's probably terrifying to have to go against. I'm glad that I would never have to.
And who's to say? Like we were just talking about this about Brett and Hannah. Like change of attitude might change his gameplay a bit. Maybe he's a little bit more cutthroat, less a little. Because my biggest criticism about Mr. Erwin in past was a little too loose,
a little impulsive sometimes.
Played very loose sometimes. Like is it this? Maybe this new attitude. It's like little bit more focused, a little bit more cutthroat, a little bit more like give him an edge to play with.
Interesting.
This might work opposite, because sometimes players need like myself and Brandon, like, loosen up, play loose, prep hard, play loose.
Preach hard, play hard.
Yeah, maybe Mr. Erwin needed this. Like, all right, stop playing loose, go for the jugular. Maybe that's what he needs. So we'll see.
I didn't think about it from that angle. You're right. So
yeah, because sometimes an edge will get you to like not even care about things, and it's like.
But we don't have all the stars yet, so we don't. Right. So like we don't necessarily know who. If Ethan's going to be part of a team.
Yeah, as of right now, it's Alex Damon, Mr. Erwin, and Chandra Dhandapani.
Right. So it's like, well, it would be a damn shame to have him on your team, Mr. Erwin on your team, and not team him up with somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, he and Liz, they did fantastic. They were contenders for the belt at some point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, he's a good teams competitor.
Yeah.
So who are you going to team him up with? Yeah. So I'm excited to see, you know, whenever that materializes. I'm excited for that.
We'll see. It'll happen eventually. And now he's got a win under his belt. This is because I imagine the winner of this match, two big names going up against each other, puts you on a shorter path to play higher range competitors and contend for that belt.
Exactly. So obviously this isn't. We're gonna see Mr. Erwin again.
Oh, no doubt.
You know, sooner rather than later.
Oh yeah.
And then Jeannine. She had a little bit of a stumble. She'll be back.
She'll be back.
She fights back. I think there's a reason why she got comeback player of the year. This just, you know, if you're gonna make lemonade out of lemons,
when life gives you lemons,
perfect opportunity for her to live up to her name.
Oh yeah.
You know, maybe a rough start.
Being on a team, being on the dungeon now.
Exactly.
Kaiser might wine and dine some deals, get her a teammate.
Maybe a little bit of a rough start. But that's okay. She's shown us that she fights back.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited to see her do just that, because I have no doubt that she can.
You got the insider information. She's a part of your faction. You hear anything? You hear any news?
Not like I tell you. You're not in the dungeon.
I'm the dungeon in law.
Out with us. Yeah, you are. You're in the dungeon in law. You're a dungeon adjacent. But, you know, I don't know, man. We're going to have to see, because right now in the dungeon, you got Kaiser managing, of course. You got Kevin the Smasher Smets. You got Jeannine the Machine. You got this guy. Who are you gonna pair Jeannine up with?
Yeah, we'll see.
You know, Kevin is IG. I don't know. He's never really expressed interest in teams or singles.
We'll see.
But you never know. You gonna team up with me? God, no. I hope not. Sure, because I love her and I'd love to hang out with her, but I would also absolutely drag her down. So, she doesn't want to team up with me. So what do you do? Because we still got that 5th spot left on the roster. So you could pair up with me, Kevin, or this other person that we don't.
Yeah, 2 spots, honey bunny.
Math?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Me, Kevin, Jeannine. Yeah, that's true. 2 and 3 makes 5. Yeah, you're right. That's right. There are 2 spots. That's right. Math is a thing.
Hitting the sauce a little too hard tonight.
You know what? It's been a long day.
Yeah.
My eyes are a little heavy.
We all know Demi feels to wine up to the brim.
If I said it before, I said it a million times. What's the point of filling your wine up down to here? Well, so I can. It's a great question for Lieberman and Seibold, because I'm sure
Rachel knows.
Rachel, I'm sure, knows too.
Posts all the time on her Instagram. But like, they're always going out to wine country.
I want to fill my wine up halfway so I can swirl it, sniff it, lick the cork a little bit, whatever they do. I'm not that's not me. I don't do that. And if you do, I'm not knocking you. That's just, you know, do whatever makes you happy. Live your fucking life, you know? I don't do that. This bottle of wine, $6, maybe?
Yeah.
And it's like 1.5 liters. Am I ashamed? Absolutely not. Unbroken eye contact. I'm not ashamed. We're all drinking it for the same reason.
Hey, man, once you hit your 30s, your mid-30s, it's like, I don't care. Does it taste good and does it get the job done?
Yes.
Yes.
To both. We all know why we're drinking it. I'm not drinking it because I'm like, oh, wow, so good. I'm drinking it for a reason. And we all know. Come on. So I don't need to sniff it. I already know what it tastes like. I know what it smells like. I don't care. The cork's already in the garbage. Fill her up. Like I said before. If I said it before, I'll say it a million times. That's not how the saying goes. If I said it
once,
I'll say it a million times. Half of one, 6 a dozen of the other. No, man, if I said it once, I said it a million times. The only thing in this room that needs to breathe is me, not my wine. Fill it to the brim, my dudes.
To the brim.
I'm just trying to have a good time. To the brim. That'd be a good podcast where we just get together with people and drink. Fill to the brim. And then we'll just talk about what the F ever.
Ooh, Radcast to the brim. After hours.
That would
like it isn't after hours already.
No, like if we had because we talked about wouldn't it be fun if every so often
have a guest on.
And it doesn't have to be scheduled once a month, this day of the month, whatever. Whenever we have the time, especially a babysitter, probably.
Especially since we haven't done one in a while.
Yeah. To the brim. Radcast. Fill her up, and then we're just going to talk about whatever the F we want. Yeah. Hey, it's a good idea. We should do it.
We should do it. Anyways.
How did we do that?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think back to...
We were talking about Mr. Erwin and...
filling up the wine.
Oh,
and you said something about talking to Jeannine. Oh, because I didn't know math. Because 2 + 3 is 5.
Yes.
We do have... Maybe I was counting Kaiser as a person on the team. No. He did have an exhibition match. Give me a break. He had an exhibition match. I think he did Spike Lee. He did a Spike Lee match against RB3, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Maybe that's what... I don't know. Math, I don't know. It's everywhere. Please don't talk badly about it. But yeah. Interested to see what happens with Jeannine, because like Mr. Erwin, it would be kind of a crime to not pair Jeannine up with somebody.
Yeah.
When you saw what she did with Jeff Snyder, just being thrown in kind of.
Yeah, at the last second, yeah.
She crushed it.
Yeah.
So it would be... carried
that team in that match.
It would be... egregious, an SAT word, to not pair her up with somebody. It's at this point, it's just a matter of who. You can put her with an IG person, a me person, or the other 2 people that we may or may not even have, because you don't have to fill your roster.
You don't have to. You just roll with these 3. That's a pretty solid crew to roll with.
Like the Sharks.
Get those bomber jackets like Kaiser had.
Yeah. Yes.
The dungeon, yes, it's Kaiser. Just get everybody's name.
Or we all just wear hoodies like Kevin.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. God. See, this is one of those moments that I do wish we were in LA, because that'd be hilarious.
Just don't have the money for it.
Well, I don't think I'd want to pay that much to live in a house.
Just win the lottery, buy a house out there.
We'll have to see about that. Got to win the lottery first. Kind of the first hurdle you got to, get over. But, was there a thing?
There was a thing afterwards. Yes, there's a big announcement.
Oh yeah, word. After that match, there was a bit of a cut scene. We get JTE. He's talking with Adam, with his new manager. He's still wearing his sick gold trim jacket. And he's like, I'm JTE. I'm one of the best teams players of all time. Blah, blah, blah. I got to, this won't stand. I'm going up against
Give me a team
Brendan.
player.
Give me a teammate. I need to, get back to my old glory kind of thing.
Yeah.
Who can you give me to, be on a team with them so I can just do what I do, And Adam's like, yo, bro, I got you. Camera pans. We got ourselves a Paul Preston in the mix.
I'm excited to see Paul Preston back in the studio.
This team actually kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
Because JTE, again, there's not much to say.
Yeah.
Because the name just carries a lot of weight in and of itself.
It's a role named after him.
Exactly. He's guaranteed got a spot on the Mount Rushmore of teams. Arguably, maybe even the Schmoedown Rushmore as a whole, but definitely teams. And then you're putting him with Paul Preston, who, rough
season last season.
He had a rough season last season. Who knows, why or what's to blame for that? Stuff happens. He's still incredibly knowledgeable. Because last season was his second season, right?
Second season.
Sophomore slump.
And digital. A lot of people don't vibe with digital.
Exactly. Could have been that. Could have been, who knows? Who cares? The fact is he's back and he's now going to be teaming up with JTE. I remember his first season, Powder Keg, he was crazy good.
Yeah, he was.
And people were like, oh
good.
My God. And then, last season happened, whatever. Time to recover. You want to talk about a potential for comeback player of the year.
Paul Preston's on the top of that list.
There we go. So we'll see how he does whenever he does team up with JTE. I do really think that this could be a dangerous team.
Yes, this is going to be one of those teams where it's like, oh, well, Paul Preston is like, well, not so fast.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I'm also interested to see what team name they conjure up. I think that could be a lot of fun.
I do like the cutscene because they did that whole pose at the end. And it's
with the awkward pause and hold.
And it's like, why are we posing?
Love it. And I know one thing that you're really hoping makes a comeback is Paul Preston's
the stick. The answer is this. It's like, Paul, we have an answer.
Like before the match starts, the answer is this. And he slams his board on the table. I know you missed that.
I missed that so much.
Maybe being back in the studio,
that's what I'm saying. Like he might vibe better with studio environment than digital.
Maybe. Because there are certain people that their personality
doesn't come through in digital.
Like, oh, I cannot wait to see Ben Bateman back in front of a crowd. Because I really think a guy like him feeds off the crowd. Mm-hmm. If Andrew Guy were still competing, a guy like that feeds off the crowd. And I think that could also hold true for Paul Preston.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see, off the heels of a not too stellar last season, excited to see what he's able to pull off in singles and in teams now with JTE.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is the formula for Friday Night Titans. Does that mean that this week on Titans we're going to see JTE and Paul? If it is, then that's the formula.
Because that might be the undercard, because the overcard, as we say around these parts, next week. Already? Yes. Oh, yeah. They announced it after the match. It will be a number 1 contender match.
That's right. Oh my God. I'm very excited for this.
We got the reveal of, because, Gucci wanted a match. He got his match. It will be the Barbarian in a number 1 contender match against
the Inglorious One.
The return of Sam Levine to competition in the movie Trivia Schmoedown. This is going to be massive. Oh my God.
Getting chilly willies just thinking about it.
Because this is like, it's very easy to look over Barbarian because he had a really good singles run last season.
Absolutely. He came in second place in the tournament of 180,000 people.
I will say it all the time. I know firsthand how much work this guy does to study, because he
and that was 2 seasons ago. Who knows what he's into now?
Exactly. I like when we were on Faction together, we would, trade study tactics, and he would tell me what he was doing. I'm like, whoa, wow.
Yeah.
I thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
He what he was doing. He might have refined it, which makes it even more, because he did much better last season, and he did a really good run last season. So this is going to be a massive match, because we would always comment when we were watching Sam in live matches, and he's like, he would know the answer.
Loved watching him in live matches.
He would know the answer to the question before his competitor would answer. And I was like, ooh.
I said it as soon as we saw him in the first studio match last season, whenever, I don't remember what that was.
The some villainy.
So there was something there, yeah. I remember watching him and seeing him either nod his head or shake his head before the announcers even said, within reason, I don't, you know what I mean? I just remember seeing him either nod or shake, and I'm like, damn, I bet this guy could just drop right back in. Like it's nothing.
We'll see what happens.
And then the next thing you know, he's like, I'm back, idiots.
Yeah. And this isn't like a situation with JTE or Smets where it's like, oh, I've been away from the game for a year or a year plus. He's been a part of the game for a whole season
just
last year.
Just in a different capacity.
Just in a different capacity. But that doesn't mean that he's been playing along in his head.
Right.
And
every single question. Apart from Star Wars.
Yeah.
He's probably trying to get to the answer. So, and he seemed to, I said it from day one that I'm like, this guy could drop right back in. I just never thought he would. I seriously thought that Sam was one of the last people that would ever make a return back to the Schmoedown. So when we heard that he was coming back, I was like, excuse me? What? Seriously, I thought he'd be the last person to come back. Yeah. But he's got his match.
Yeah.
And this is going to be tremendous. Can you imagine for both of them? Can you imagine? Barbarian wins. You just took down Sam Levine.
Yeah.
One of the absolute biggest names in the game. One of the biggest legends that there is, retired with both the singles and the teams belt, right?
Yeah.
That would be a tremendous feather in the cap of the Barbarian. That would be huge.
Yeah.
On the other side, you got Sam Levine himself. If he wins, holy crap.
Yeah. No, like he never left.
Didn't skip a beat because, yes, he was still involved in Schmoedown in a different capacity. It's a different muscle.
It's a different kind of stress.
It's a different kind of stress, different kind of muscle that you got to worry about keeping warm. And if he can come back and take this first match, it also will be interesting to see, is it going to be a close game? Is it going to be a closer to a blowout? I imagine it'll be a closer game because these are two very heavy-hitting competitors. So, but if Sam can come back and get this win, it'll be like, holy crap, I guess ring rust doesn't apply to this guy.
Yeah.
So, and then on top of it all, whoever comes out victorious, it's a number 1 contender match.
Yeah. Go up against Marisol McKee.
Again, you can't lose in either scenario because if Barbarian wins, he gets what he came this close to last season by coming in second place in a tournament. Now he'll finally get his shot at that belt like he was hoping to get a spectacular.
Yeah.
On the other side, Sam wins it. Holy crap, Sam Levine's going to be going for the belt again. I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah.
So this is just, can't nobody...
No losers. The fans don't lose.
Fans don't lose in either outcome.
Yeah.
So I am beyond excited to see this match. I cannot wait because, it's hard for me not... I love both these guys. Like I love Barbarian. Used to be on a faction with him. I was basically faction in-laws.
Yeah.
But I love Sam because he used to work with the guy.
Yeah, he managed you last season.
So
he managed you to a title shot. So
exactly. So I'm very excited. I'm very invested in this match.
We'll see what happens.
We will still hold true.
We'll see. We just gotta wait. We gotta wait a little bit.
We'll still hold true to our thing where we don't pick who we want to or think is going to win. We are the kiss of death.
Kiss of death on the show.
So we're not going to do that. But so that going to be our main event next week? Holy goodness!
It's
so
the overcard.
Maybe that means we're going to see JTE and Paul Preston as the undercard, and if so, we've cracked the code, and probably it's not even a very secret code. I'm just
like the Da Vinci Code over
I'm
there.
just catching on. So. Christian, if he was listening to this, he'd probably be like, I wasn't even that secretive about it. It's been kind of laid out there. I'm catching up,
Yeah.
So very excited. Going to be a very, very big Friday Night Titans this weekend. So make sure you tune in, ladies and gents. If you're watching this, you're probably already going to tune in, but also definitely do.
Absolutely. All right. So great Friday Night Titans. Great bunch of matches. Oh my God. I'm really loving the format. Just keep it rolling.
I am overjoyed about the way Titans is shaping up. I love it. So yeah, can't wait.
Awesome. All right, so we'll go ahead and wrap up the show here. Star Wars competitor Nicki Dimalanta. Where can they find you online?
Twitter at Demi. DIMMYYY.
Slower than usual. As for me, you can follow me.
Put it right there on the table.
Right on the table. Boop, boop. As for me, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA, and on TikTok at Rogue Leader Drew. Come on, I'm so close to 3,000. I'm like halfway there to 5. And I only got 2 more months to celebration. Get me to 5,000 before celebration. I want to get there. Get me there, please.
And
if you're listening to this on audio form, please follow the feed and rate us.
Thought that was my cue.
Nope, your cue now.
Now, if you're watching us on YouTube, comment, subscribe. Click the bell icon in the lower right-hand corner. See when we do things on the YouTube.
Maybe rad.
Oh God, I don't even know why we keep saying it. We keep getting derailed.
Yeah, and it's going to be getting harder to get doing these.
You've just
rads.
been really busy lately.
Been really busy, especially what we have coming up. Starting at the end of the month, we've already started taping these interviews.
Yeah.
Going Rogue is coming back for a limited run for the start of it. We might bring it back completely, but
we can't even keep Rad going.
Yeah, but for a limited run, it is the Road 2 celebration. We will start at the end of the month. We'll start a week. Every week you will get an episode of Going Rogue with personalities that some personalities you don't know. Give me a lot of fun. So can't wait for those to come out. Can't wait to talk to friends about Star Wars Celebration.
Yes, give us a break. We've been really busy. Yeah. My God.
Yeah.
More so than usual.
Oh,
and these next couple months, it's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
We're going to be even busier.
Yeah.
The next couple months. So.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. We'll see you next time.